As a mind, you are always, always conscious. You are never not conscious. It's impossible for a mind to be not conscious. But that consciousness can vary in degrees. You can be very, very conscious, or you can be less conscious. And again, that depends on your state of mind. But by and large, mind is always conscious. That's a given. That cannot be changed. Mind is always aware and alive and conscious. Take, for example, animals. Animals are conscious in that they are alive, they feel pain, they experience pain, and they will try to do whatever they can to avoid pain. If they are hungry, they will go looking for food. If they sense danger, they will attack or they will run. We would do the same thing, right? However, as human beings, not only are we conscious, but we are conscious of the fact that we are conscious. We are self-reflective in that sense. So the term used here is meta-conscious. Human beings are meta-conscious in that sense. Now, I have spoken about the nature of consciousness outside this video series. It's a 3-part series if you want to go have a look. I believe it's titled You Are Always Conscious. And in that video series, I spoke about how mind is always conscious and the fact that you're also conscious when you are asleep, under anesthesia, or even upon death. Now, if you subscribe to this understanding that your mind is generated by the brain, then, well, you're subscribing to materialism, right? But this video series on the nature of mind is not about materialism, it's about idealism. The understanding that mind is primary, mind is prior to anything. So you don't need a brain to generate mind. In fact, mind is not generated by anything. In fact, it's the brain that is generated by mind. So, given that you are watching this video series, if you've gotten this far, I believe that you subscribe to this understanding, or at least you are starting to subscribe to this understanding that your mind is who you are and mind is prior to anyone or anything. And since this mind is conscious, how can it be that mind is never conscious? How can the term unconscious even be possible? When someone says they are unconscious, or when scientists or doctors use the term unconscious, they are simply referring to a state of mind where mind is not aware of anything in particular. Because when you are awake and you can look around, you are aware of things. You're aware of things happening. You are aware of things in front of you. You can perceive things, and therefore you can remember what you perceived, right? But when you're asleep, you are still conscious, but you are not conscious of anything. You're not aware of anything until you have a dream, right? And that's what you are aware of, and therefore you can remember. And because you can remember it, you can recall being conscious during that time. But if you're not conscious of anything in particular, you are still conscious. It's just that you're not forming any memories. You're not remembering anything. It's the same thing when they put you under anesthesia. They cut off that part of your brain that forms memories. So you don't experience any pain. Because if you did experience pain, then you are remembering. right? You are aware of the pain. But since they block those pain receptors somehow in your brain, you're not able to form memories, and therefore you think you are unconscious. But really, I mean, if you were unconscious, then that would mean you're dead. But speaking of death, that's another thing I want to bring up in this video, because even upon death, if you are this mind that always is, and since you are this mind, you always are, even upon death. Death is only death of the physical body. What you call death is the dissolution of this physical body back into the environment from where it came. And birth is the bringing together of the ingredients of the environment to make your physical body. But someone has to be present to receive that physical body, mind, or to let go of that physical body, and that is mind. That is who you are, in essence. So even upon death, you still are conscious. Now, obviously, you may not be conscious in this physical plane of existence. The mind may transcend to some other realm. Personally, I'm not familiar with that realm, since I'm alive on this physical realm. But if mind is always conscious, then it needs to transcend this realm, this physical realm. Perhaps it's just a matter of waking up as you would wake up from a dream. In a dream, you are living a different story, right? And you are going along with that story. You get caught up in it. But then you wake up into the story right here. Is that the same case? Is that what death is? A waking up into some other realm and leaving this realm behind? Quite possibly. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the fact that mind is always conscious. It's a given. You cannot take away consciousness from mind. They go hand in hand. Mind is consciousness, and consciousness is mind.